Hello there guys, and welcome back to the channel. Now I did record this showcase a small while ago, but then I just got kind of overwhelmed with everything being thrown my way and a ton of things to do and videos to upload. But finally I'm getting to it. Now I have been wanting to showcase Misty Knight for a while, and I will be showing several different rotations and some of the reasons why I do enjoy her as much. One of the main reasons why I kind of got re-inspired to show Misty Knight is also because she was actually doing quite exceptionally well in Battlegrounds for several different reasons that I will be showcasing here later on. But the point with Misty Knight is you can choose to play her in two different ways. One is never get rid of your charges and always keep them balanced, and then spend the entire fight with guaranteed critical hits and completely unblockable, and that is already quite OP. Then there is a second way where you alternate in between level 2s and level 1, have access to Cold Snap and Frostbite, and arguably do somewhat more damage quicker. But again, that involves you, for instance, triggering recoil quite a bit more if you are running Liquid Courage Double Edge. But here we can see that every time I dex or parry, I refresh my unblockable and guaranteed critical hits and everything else, and that is going to be entire fight. And for Battlegrounds, for instance, that is quite awesome. And that is quite awesome, especially against specific type of champion, so to speak, and specific type of nodes. But we're gonna check out some less than common applications as well. But here we can see that it's super easy to spend entire fight with unblockable, guaranteed critical hits, and yeah, it's not the most amount of damage. Like, it's not like you're playing with a ramped up Corvus. But just the fact that you are able to activate this before you actually have to land a hit in the fight, and then have it on for rest of the fight with very limitations and exceptions, is amazing. On top of it, if it does seem like it would fall off, or would you be ready to fall off, you can just throw your level 3, and it's going to reactivate them if they're not on cooldown, and also give you an energize buff, still letting you escape that recoil charge. So here we can easily see that Misty Knight has absolutely no problem delivering, what is it, 15 plus 14, about 30k damage per each combo, without any fuss, without needing to parry opponents, without needing to intercept, without needing to knock them down or anything of the sort. Yeah, there are quicker champions. And this time around we're going to be taking a look at her like other rotation. And that is kind of more simple. That is just get to here I did get hit by accident, but the other rotation is basically just work with level 2 and level 1. Level 1 is quite important to increase your attack temporarily in order to maximize on your burst damage. But here we're going to see that it's going to be super easy. So I'm going to finish the combo here with light. I have my guaranteed crits, and that special attack does, you know, all right amount of damage. When we have that Cold Snap, and now every time we strike that Captain Marvel with that Cold Snap active, we are putting Frostbite charges. And that is the key bit. With those Frostbite charges, I just need to time my level 1 upon the detonation of them, and we could see that there was a burst of 100k damage quite easily achieved. So that was 100k burst damage. It does involve timing things out a bit, but on the bright side, at least you don't have to worry, for instance, for opponents evading meanwhile. And here we can see that I'm already back at unblockable guaranteed crits for the time for my second level 2, which I here casually drop. And once again, we're going to be repeating the process. So basically one level 2, well, 2 cycles of level 2, level 1, and the fight is over. And that is not a bad amount of damage at all. So here is, well, the end of the video, and this one was a very brief fight. But now let's check out some of the cooler and better matchups. A lot of people don't know that Misty Knight is actually one of the best Penny Parker counters. And let me showcase it right here. So this is just a practice duel. I'm using a 5-star rank 3 against my 6-star rank 3. It's going to be super easy. Now, I did make a mistake. I did not need to throw that heavy attack there because my charges weren't, the difference if my charges weren't high enough. But at this point, we can see that I am at 10 charges at one, and 12 charges on the other. As soon as I dex one time, I'm going to go unblockable for the rest of the fight, and that's it. We can completely bypass Penny's auto block from this point forward because, well, Penny can't auto-block unblockable champions, and she's going to spend the rest of the fight completely unblockable. So Misty is an amazing Penny Parker counter. On a similar note, the same thing applies on any champion that has pesky auto-block abilities. Be that Omega Sentinel, be that MODOK, be that Medusa, the whole lot. Or if there are any nodes that annoy you with auto-block. So here we can see that she's at 3 armors. Fine, not a problem. 3 armors, not a problem. So I'm going to drop a heavy attack here. I need to dex once, or I can just do this. And now, here we are done. I'm fully unblockable, and I can refresh my unblockable just by continuously dexing or parrying or finishing a combo with light or medium. That is how easy it is. And here we can see absolutely no problem dealing with something pesky like Omega Sentinel, for instance. Now, the next example is going to be MODOK, just like I mentioned before. So this time I'm using my 4-star here against a maxed out 5-star. So I think this is a 4-star rank 3. You can see that we're going to ramp up very, very quickly because MODOK is a science champion. And against science champions, I do gain my charges quicker. So now I just need to dex one more time, and that's it. MODOK is powerless in front of Misty Knight because that auto block might as well not exist. And obviously guaranteed crits and class advantage give me decent amount of damage, and it's just quite simple as that, so to say. Also, this is the crit me with your best shot lane. No, wait, no, this is not crit me with your best shot. This is a lane where you can't knock down your opponents unless they have concussion or disorient debuff on them, or you can take a huge burst of damage. Well, the cool thing about Misty Knight's playstyle is the fact that she doesn't have to knock down her opponents. Now, she's only doing half a damage here due to a protection node, but that's quite okay. That just means that the fight is going to be slightly longer. But thanks to Combo Party, I'm also increasing my critical hit damage for every 2 combos that I throw at this Eye Hulk. So I am going to be hitting plenty hard. The only thing that I need to worry about is obviously not losing my combo, and that is virtually it. So MCOC has more and more nodes that punish you when you knock the opponent down. We have seen that, you know, if you knock the opponent down, they have a chance to evade. Next, Battlegrounds node is going to be similar in terms of negative effects when you knock them down, because Rise to Power lets them get a whole chunk of power after they have been knocked down if they make contact. Then we have nodes that let opponents go debuff immune when you knock them down, so on and so forth. And it is always very beneficial to have a champion that just deals flat out guaranteed damage without relying on debuffs and without having necessity to parry or knock opponents down at all, ever. There is no catch to it. And I do think that there is some value in the simplicity of it. It's kind of like one of the reasons why Red Hulk is such a good champion. And Misty kind of benefits from it in similar fashion. Yes, she does rely on buffs, and you know, that again has some benefits and some drawbacks. For instance, next Battlegrounds node, you will not really be able to benefit from Misty Knight all that well, because Power Snack is going to be constantly being fed with her, so I don't think she's going to work all that well there. But I'm sure there are going to be plenty of nodes where she does work extremely well. And as we can see here, we went entire fight without knocking down that Immortal Hulk. We went entire fight being unblockable and dealing guaranteed critical damage with Misty, which I think is quite cool. And next up, we're going to be also showcasing that utility against, for instance, destructive feedback. Now, I do think I'm going to make a small mistakes here, but the cool thing about fighting against destructive feedback with Misty Knight is, again, that there is virtually no need for you to parry, because you're going to be unblockable and unstoppable the entire time if everything goes fine. I do make a mistake at some point, I think, but it's just a matter of convenience, because you can always find an opening. It's kind of like similarly when you're playing max ramped up Aegon in Abyss or in Labyrinth. It's just something that you never have to worry about. Here, I kind of did not notice that I didn't refresh my debuffs before, And unfortunately, I lost my unblockable there, but the fight was nearly over already. But when it comes to fights like Destructive Feedback, she's also very, very convenient champion to use there. And this last one is Critical Setup, crit me with your best shot. Obviously, there are champions that deal with this well, namely like Corvus and Hitmonkey and a few others. But when it comes to using Misty Knight, she doesn't lose a step. Many of the quote-unquote better champions for this crit me with your best shot node still lose out on damage. Like Hitmonkey doesn't get his bleed damage. Like Mallman doesn't get his bleed or burst damage. Shang-Chi doesn't always crit and still doesn't get his awakened, burst damage. Hercules does not get his burst damage either. And Misty Knight gets all of it. Misty Knight gets all of it because every hit is going to be guaranteed hit here. And she is such a convenient champion to use. As we can see, that Joe Fixit is getting wrecked. So now I think again I dropped there that unblockable for a small period of time. But that's not a big issue because only thing I have to do is dex one more time or parry or finish combo with medium and it comes back. So even if you do drop your unblockability and guaranteed crits, it's very, very easy to get them back extremely, quickly. And we can definitely see Misty Knight wrecking a lot of things. So I do think that Misty Knight has not been the best received champion in the game, and I'm not making a claim that she is, crazy or the best skilled champion around there. But by having had to rank up this champion for Alliance War Defense, well, nobody forced me, but they just, politely asked me if I would mind ranking her up. I did, and I otherwise wouldn't have. And I'm actually very, very happy that I did, because I have been getting more and more and more use out of her, and she's been putting in work in Battlegrounds. She's been very fun to play, and she's very enjoyable champion, as it turns out. So it is just one of those things when champion comes out and gets overlooked, but there's still something to them. And this game is very harsh in a sense that if a champion doesn't kind of gain popularity immediately upon release, it's very rarely that they, kind of excel to the forefront of players. And I genuinely believe that Misty Knight is better than a lot of people think, and perhaps is worth a second look from you. Anyways, I hope you guys enjoyed this showcase. I'm going to try to make more of these showcases for you. But meanwhile, that's it from me, and I'm going to catch you guys later. See ya. Hello there guys, and welcome back to the channel. So we have all the information about the next